Hello and welcome back to the Vintage Podcast again, where this week we're going to be talking to Olivia, who's yet another team member you might find if you come into Antrim. Olivia's going to be talking, just like everybody else, about some of her favourites, some of her memories, and just her story with the business. If you're interested in any of the products that anybody talks about on these shows, don't forget to check out the links down below and to follow the show so you don't miss anything. But for now, on with the show.
Right, prepare me. Oh, is it already started?
Well, it's running, but it doesn't have to.
Oh, okay. But so you've got this on video?
Yeah.
See, I've never even had a job interview properly before, so
Okay.
like, is this like a job interview?
No.
So like this?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Can they hear me?
Yeah. So we're back again with another Get to Know the Team episode, and today we're sitting down with Olivia.
Hello.
What we'll do is I give you a bit of a chance just to sort of tell us, just some interesting information about who you are. Okay. I know just all it is a little bit of background on how you came to be here and what your role within the team is, what kind of things you get up to, and what you've maybe learned in the time you've been here so far. So,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead and just give us a little bit about who Olivia is.
Well, I am a part-time worker here at the Vintage. And basically I came about working here because I was just looking for a job after I'd finished my A-levels, and my dad would have been a regular customer here. Not like too regular, just like the right amount of regular at an off licence. But so he had heard from Paddy that there was a job opening, so I just called down to the shop and then came in for a chat. And then about a few days after the chat, he just got back in contact with me and said to start in the next week. So it was pretty not stressful for the way people get jobs nowadays.
Yeah. And in the time that you've been here, how would you say that has the role developed or changed? Have you learned a lot, or what have you taken away from it so far?
Well, I've learned that there's a lot more to alcohol than just getting drunk, as the first thing I learned, but also a lot more than that as well, because my manager and boss, Paddy and Joe, know like a lot about wines and stuff, and they were able to tell me a lot of information that I didn't understand at first, but I feel like I'm slowly getting to know things, so now my family think that I'm a bit of a wine snob.
What are some of the things that you've picked up since starting here that you might do that kind of pop off the top of your head?
Just basically that wines can actually be nice as the main thing, because usually what they would buy is like £6 bottles of wine, and I thought that I hated wine, but I wouldn't be much of a big drinker anyway for my age, which I don't know if that's really a flex.
Well, the statistics are changing.
Yeah, I heard.
People in their 20s, apparently like only 50% of people in their 20s or whatever it is are much less inclined to drink nowadays than ever before, which I find quite interesting. But so you're saying about your family would used to buy cheaper wine. What would you go for now?
Well, they usually would like Australian wine, so I've been buying them some basically more expensive ones from there, and then I would have bought them some of my favourites that I've tried for Christmas. So I tried like the Cammy del Drac one. I don't actually know the full name of it, but it's the yellow one, not the blue one. Yeah. And then also the Green and Social would be quite nice. I think it's like more like
both Spanish.
The Green and Social Spanish, and then the Cammy del Drac's French one.
Oh, okay.
And I also really like Porta 6.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's just
Most
I wouldn't even have tried red wine before, but I just really liked it.
Sell it by the case. Loads and loads of people come for that. Yeah. Well, are there any other things like outside the realm of wine? What would you tend to go for if you had the choice and the budget?
The budget is like a whole separate thing. When I would be out, I would just get like Volga Blackcurrant because it's the cheapest thing. But for Christmas, I really liked the bamboo cream. Like the
You're the second person to say that.
Yeah, it was so good. I think most of us got one because Pierce got a bottle, Sean got a bottle, and I did. I don't know if Joe did, but I know like the majority did because it's just so good.
Yeah. And then are there any things that you've tried since starting here that have surprised you outside wine? Other things so you've mentioned a couple of things you like. Have you come across something you never thought you might be interested in?
Well, it's kind of, I'm not sure how I feel about this one, but the first time I tried whiskey, I like hated it. And even when I tried it in here at first, I was like, this is disgusting. But when we were on our tour of like the McConnell's
Oh, okay.
distillery.
Yeah,
I
at
actually
Christmas.
really liked the drink that we had. It was like their whiskey with like ginger ale or something.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, and it was actually surprisingly really nice, and I wouldn't have thought I would have
More of a
liked
cocktail
whiskey
type
much.
thing. Okay. Yeah, I really like that as well, but I would have liked the McConnell's anyway it came anyway. Yeah, it is really, really good. But then if we look at some of the stuff, so we haven't actually talked about what kind of stuff do you do in the shop? I know we don't really have titles, but what do you?
The main thing I do is just like I look after the front of the shop. Like I would deal with like customers and stuff and always be restocking the shelves and things like that. I know that like a lot of you would work with like the computers and all like the behind the scenes stuff, but I would usually just be trying to run the front of it and interact with customers and such.
And then have you done much with the events that we put on, the tasting evenings and things?
I actually haven't even been to one yet. I was working during the first one that there was up here, so I did get to try some of the stuff. It was like, the people that made Artista, those wines, which were really nice. They were here, and I got to try those and really liked them. It must have been something like that. I don't really remember. But it was really interesting, and I got to hear. I think Joe might have spoke of it, and I was quite impressed with him. It was good.
With him presenting. Okay, cool. So realistically, all I wanted to do was give people just that little bit more info on who you are. And is there anything you kind of want to leave people with before we wrap this one?
Well, I would like to leave them with that they should definitely shop here, because it's just such also a good atmosphere, more than also just has good wines and stuff like that. Like even from the perspective of like staff, it's just I feel like we all get along so well and everything. It's just such a nice friendly atmosphere. Even I'm sure the customers would be able to tell as well. So I would say 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you again in other episodes. It'd be nice to see if we get any questions from this one, and then we can bring you back to answer them. Same as you have with some of the others. But for now, I'll let you go. And for everybody else, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for listening to the Vintage Podcast. Everything on this show is produced in-house, including the music. If there's anything you'd like to ask us, or if you'd like to pose a question for a future episode, check out the links in the description where you'll be able to find contact forms, email addresses, and social media links, as well as links to any of the products that we've mentioned on the show. If you want to follow us just to keep up to date with episodes, you should be able to do so on most major podcast platforms. And if you want to ask us about anything, we're always here to talk. Please don't forget to follow the show, and we look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Thanks.